Ooh, it is turned off chilly. We're here in January in early grot. Welcome back to my net zero farming series. And check out what I got on sale. It is a seed tender trailer. But the nice thing about it is it will actually hold grain. So once we get to the point of harvesting some of the grain crops, we'll be able to use that as our trailer. It was about $7,000, so I thought that was a pretty good deal. I have just got back from the biogas plant, and we're going to go ahead and jump in the tractor here because I have a couple things I want to get done today. It is really chilly, it's in the 20s, but the ground is not frozen. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and use the stire here. We're going to sell some silage. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't make some money. It is the middle of winter. Silage is selling good. We're going to go ahead and get some silage sold. And then I'm going to do some cultivating. I'm going to go ahead and try to get that oilseed radish turned under. And then one more thing that I'm going to try to get done today while I have the availability to use the stire is I'm going to plant some trees. And I've been doing a little bit of research on which type of tree actually absorbs the most CO2. Gotten some differing data. I really couldn't narrow it down. So I'm just going to go with something that appears to be native to this area. So it looks like we have spruce in abundance, and then there's some pines scattered about as well. So I think I'm just going to go with spruce and plant those. I don't know if they are the most carbon absorbing, but for the intent of this series, it'll work out for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get a load of these bales in the trailer here. And then I'm going to go ahead and take those down and get them sold. So let me get these loaded up, and then we'll head down and see how much a full trailer load will end up bringing me. Alright, down here at the animal dealership, the price here is actually a little bit lower than at the biogas plant, but I believe that this will be the best option because the biogas plant is actually full, because I did take 10 bales down early this morning, so it is still full. But I did talk the biogas plant into upping their production output, so they are able to now handle more bales per day. But I do not know where to sell these bales down here. I don't see a clear trigger. Actually, let me turn on the alright, turn on the triggers there, and let's see if we can find something here. There we go. Alright, so we're going to drop it off back here. Alright, back in the tractor here, where we have a heater. It is very chilly outside. Alright, we'll get pulled up here enough that we can get these unloaded. It's not a whole lot of room. Alright, so we're at $10,600. Let's see how much money we can get off of these bales. $30,000. That is very, very good. All right, back down to the farm here. I'm going to go ahead and load up a couple more trailer loads full and bring them on down, get them sold, and we'll see about getting started on some cultivation. Well, down here in the field, we have the stire hooked up to the cultivator. I'm going to go ahead and start around this field here. We'll get a headland done so that the helper can do a good job for me. I ended up selling the bale trailer and I bought a different one. Part of the reason is that the bale trailer I was using is almost 3 tons heavier than the one I bought. And the other reason is the other one has a different type of auto load mechanism, so it will load up those bales a little bit quicker and easier. Ended up switching over to the Rigitrack, using that to haul the bales because I wanted to get this stire over here into the field so we could start cultivating. I do have several trips left to head down to the bale sell point, but you can see here I'm up to $116,000. After the last load of bales, I was up at just at 100,000, and then I sold the bale trailer. Actually ended up selling it for more than I bought the new one, so that actually worked out pretty good. So I ended up going with a Roland here, pretty standard, but it does have auto load. Holds 28 bales, and like I said, it is almost 3 tons lighter than the Anderson trailer. And I'm pretty sure these are all silage. Let me just double check. I know all the black ones should be the same pink. That's old, so yeah, they're all silage. I was having to use the front loader to get the bales out, but I think with this one, should be able to pull in there and get them loaded up a little bit quicker. Let's see what happens here. I do need to turn it on, I believe. Let's see. There we go. Oh, yeah. That works out really well. All right, well, we're going to head down to the sell point here with this trailer full. The Rigitrack is definitely pulling this a little bit easier than the Anderson, so that is a good thing. It struggled a little bit with Anderson trailers, so that's why I wanted to swap over. Help with the transport. Down to the sell point, we'll get a couple trailer loads down there and then hop back over into the cultivator. Alright, got all of the bales I'm going to end up selling today down there at the animal dealer. See, I'm up to $185,000. That's pretty spectacular. So I do have these bales left. I'm going to leave these here to be used for possibly some TMR at some point, or to continue taking bales down to the biogas plant so that we can use the diesel tractors. So the sheep needed some food. I'm going to go ahead and take this over while I am bringing this little Kramer back. Get this dropped off here. Get them fed. Let's see how much it's going to take. I didn't use them all, so I'll pick the rest of this up and take over to the cows. I believe the helper's almost done with the first field down there. We'll go check on him in just a moment. So what I'm thinking is, since I am going to attempt to plant some trees today, is that will reduce the number of bales I end up having to take down to the biogas plant. but not immediately. I think what I'm going to do is have them grow to their second stage of growth before I count them. And then possibly as they get bigger, give them a little bit more credit on how many bales it will reduce. I think for now, once they get to their first or second stage of growth, I'll reduce the bale usage by 1. I'm not going to do a whole lot, as I do want it to continue to be a challenge. And we see there the helper has finished. Ended up with quite a few more rocks that I'm going to need to pick up. And I will do that at some point. Possibly today, if I get time, because I will need to use the stire. And I will need to get those up before I get ready to plant. So as I run along here, I want to show you on the map here the fertilization state. And you can see there it is fertilizing or adding the first state of fertilizer to the field. So that is what we wanted to happen. So it's working out pretty well. And I am missing spots along the way. Let me back up and grab those. There we go. So I'm going to carry on with this and get this done. And just as soon as I do, I'm going to go ahead and have the store bring over a tree planter and maybe a couple crates of tree saplings. And then we're going to run around and get those planted so that they can start growing. I thought that planting them over the winter would be good because in my experience using bare root trees, they tend to transplant better when it's cooler and they're dormant. So that's why I chose the dead of winter to get those planted. Probably should have done it in November, December time frame, but this is what's going to happen. But I did not make it, and so we're going to do it here in January. But still trying to bring in a little bit of realism there on getting those planted during the winter. So a little while on this field, and then we'll be planting some trees. All right, you see here I have the tree planter already connected up to the tractor here, and I've already planted 1 pallet of tree saplings. So we're going to go ahead and take this around and get the next pallet planted. I'm going to start right here. And going along this border here, I thought this would work out pretty good. I can't use up near this cliff edge anyway, so I figured planting the trees along here would work out. Just as long as I don't roll the tractor down the cliff. The other thing that I am considering is installing a solar panel. I got to looking and I do have the funds. It is going to take quite a bit of what I currently have, but it will also reduce what I'm having to spend in bales down to the biogas plant. And lift that planter up right there. We're going to drop one more here. All right, we're going to call that good there. And then let's see, I need to find another area. You know what, I'll go back down this strip. There's some room between the existing forest trees there and what I just planted. So we'll just come along here, spread it out just a little, and head back the other way. This was just a grassy area that I wasn't able to use, But this will give me some area to grow some trees. And the whole point of this is to recapture some of the CO2 that is in the atmosphere. So the trees actually capture the CO2 from the atmosphere and then convert that into what they need to grow. So that is how the trees capture the carbon back out of the atmosphere and play a role in this activity. I'm gonna put some over here beside this area to give a little bit more privacy. All right, we'll stop there. We'll just come back along the same direction. I don't want them to come. Let's see, we can come out one more. There we go. Alright, so we have 15 more trees. I think what I'm going to do is head up this way here. I'm going to pull over here just a little ways, get lined up, and then we'll head up the hill here beside these other trees. This is pretty slow go, but I don't have many more to go. And so like I said before, I will count these at some point, but they've got to start growing to become usable in my calculations. Alright, we'll stop there. It's getting a little bit steep. Just head up this way a little ways. Trying to outline, go around the fields. I'm trying to stay away from where I'm planting as much as I can. But I getting some of these trees planted along the edges. I think this will work out just fine. Throw a couple more down this way. Those may end up a little bit close there. All right. We have 3 pallets of trees planted. So that's very good. I'm going to drop this off over here. And I do still have a little bit of daylight, so I'm going to go ahead and try and get those rocks off of that bottom field and then call it a day. I do appreciate you watching. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please be sure to give me a like. We'll see you back here next time. Thank you so much.